David Benevidez, Caleb Plant, the introduction. Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7-part boxing series at nschamp7.com, and that's my title of the opening press conference that just went down a couple of days ago to hype the Super Middleweight Championship Showdown on Showtime Pay-per-view March the 25th between interim champ David Benevidez, aka the Mexican Monster, who is 25-0 with 23 knockouts, versus Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, who was 22-1 with 13 knockouts. First off, I was a fan of Benevidez, and it's hard not to if you really love boxing. He's a fearless 6'1" super middleweight who could probably be successful at light heavyweight. He throws hard combinations, he knows how to work the body, and has a good jab. And he's an excellent finisher. He turned pro at 16, so he's a young veteran. All around a pretty good fighter. But him and Pops, Jose Benevidez Sr., who usually shows more class in previous fight build-ups, turned this event into a first-class crap show. Now, I can't say the other word, which begins with a SH and ends with IT. Fight build-up should be to broaden the audience base, be as fan-friendly as possible, to get as many ticket sales as possible, with the end game more money to the fighters and all involved. That's why it's called professional prize fighting. Now, I know some of the youngsters out there love the thug antics. They're entertaining. But now I'm talking to the grown men up in here. So, to those of you who fit that category, can you imagine bringing your girlfriend or wife? And remember, some of these guys have their mamas there as well. Well, can you imagine bringing them there to hear that mess? As a matter of fact, if I'm the head trainer or manager and my fighter is subjected to that kind of garbage, we're going to walk immediately. Now, we'll probably give the promoter a heads up, so he's either going to have to police that mess, or at least he knows what's happening in advance. Or, unless the promoter and the media just clear the tables and let us, as the two camps, dish it out, sell it right there as to who the real BITCH is. Now, if that happens, we'd all be as dumb as dirt because, once again, the name of the game is to make money. Like I just said, professional prize fighting. Also, if that happened, those of us who wouldn't have to be scraped up off the floor in a body bag would either be busted up or spend significant time in jail or in prison. Now, I know some of this, the antics that was shown at that press conference, is pure hatred, and then some of it is to get in the fighter's head, some type of intimidation or something. But I come from a different time period, folks, where some of the toughest and best fighters didn't say too much to you. But when that bell rings, they're ready and willing and able to literally take your head clean off. You don't have to be a negative ghetto stereotype to be great or to be a champion. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. A lot of times gutter-style trash talk meant to intimidate only stirs the opponent to fight the fight of his life, pushing him to run the extra mile, go the extra round, psych himself up to take extra punishment if necessary that he may not even normally be able to take. Now, most real fight people know what I'm talking about. And if that's not enough, history should be a reminder. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there like myself who are old enough to remember Tyson's threat to take Evander Holyfield's manhood from him in the ring before their first fight and was knocked out. And Sergey Kovalev, who stated that Andre Ward may not return home to his family before their second fight, and he was knocked out. And Ward was not known as a particularly hard puncher either. Also, an example is Amir Khan's threat to give Kell Brook a frightful and unforgettable beating, and he was knocked out. Teofimo Lopez and Pops promising a first-round knockout of George Kambosos, and he lost his belts in a decision. And who can forget Rolly Romero, all that mess he said about Tank Davis in 2 pre-fight build-ups, and afterward, he didn't know exactly where he was at, what happened to him, and that's after he was knocked out. Personally, I think Plant proved his toughness back in the amateurs when he won the National Golden Gloves Championship, because a lot of boxing people know only the best amateurs do that. Now, having said all that, Caleb is going to have to be brick hands instead of sweet hands, picking his spots when to mix it up in hopes of unleashing the same sneaky punching power that flattened Anthony Durrell. All that training and conditioning he does will certainly help him go the distance, probably be able to take a lot of punishment, but to win this fight, he's going to have to hurt Benevidez, who's drooling at the opportunity to do the same to him. So, that's my take on the situation, folks, thus far, because there's still 7 weeks to go before this match. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, check me out and subscribe to me, Coach Nathan, at NSChamp7.com.